Hello folks, this is Duncan again at Free as an Eagle doing a little catch-up video. We are almost ready for roofing and we've been really jamming on all of that, so I'll give you a quick review of the various steps we've taken to get to this place. I'll take a walk over here and kind of do a walk around and then go into the building. So my brother Al is the genius with the rope and pulley system, so he's gone ahead and moved these. You'll see the back side of the wood up here, up on the ridge. There's 5 2x4s that are lagged into the roof, each one with a little pulley system attached to it at the top, and those will hold the pulleys to suspend a walkboard system we're going to set up on the other side that will allow us to start roofing. We're going to start roofing the dormer side because that side's ready to go. This side, if we weren't putting a dormer on this side would be totally ready to go. However, there is going to be a little dormer in the kitchen. It's going to be a smaller dormer and start about 4 feet up. So we decided rather than start at the bottom like the other dormer, we would start the kitchen one at about 42 inches or 4 feet up to allow that dormer to have a window in the bottom and then a triangle window on the top, because the dormer will stick up into the second floor. So now I'm walking around the front. We moved staging out in front so that I can finish this blocking. You can see blocking, or what we call the ladder, running up on kind of off the front pair of rafters, and what will happen, there'll be 2x8 rafters on the very outside, so they're depending on this blocking to have a point of attachment. And then the blocking, we just set the staging up so that we can get to the peak to do the blocking up there, and then we'll install the final 2x8s. And all that has to be in place before we nail the drip edge on and begin the roofing. So one thing I'm going to just show you for now, it's kind of a cool feature, is simply the fact that we got the staging out from the other end. So now the other end is completely unobstructed, which I've been sort of looking forward to seeing this view since quite a while ago when we put the staging up to finish the framing. So there's only one lonely little bracing board we forgot to pull off up there, but that'll get pulled down another time. But anyway, here's the nice almost view looking out here. Eventually we'll take some more trees out to open that up, but when the leaves come down it'll open up a bit more. So yeah, this is pretty cool just to see this open up and become a nice looking thing. Looking back this way, I'm going to walk back out of here. So we've got the second floor on there. I plywooded the outside of the downstairs dormer. Now it's very dark, but it's weather tight mostly, so that's good. And Al actually, while he's up there working on the pulley system, papered over the ridge, all the rest of it, so we won't get any more water in here except on the ends. And they will, wind-driven rain will sometimes come through here and make a wind tunnel out of it. That'll happen once the roof is on. So here we are, we're at the bottom of the dormer, and to make this even more waterproof, there's ice and water shield, 2 courses along the bottom here, and then my brother-in-law suggested doing that just because of snow that may pile up against the roof, and we don't want any water going in here. After all these terrible flooding and storms I keep seeing videos of, I'm like, man, let's make this thing as bulletproof as we can. There's nobody that's completely safe nowadays, so I added extra ice and water shield in the valley. That's not even really a valley, but it's kind of a valley where the wall meets the roof there, so I wanted to watertight that a little more. Sometimes step flashing and other methods of keeping water out of there don't always work perfectly, so having that ice and water tucked into that little corner is a good little feature. And of course I stopped the plywood because that staging we have up there is going to be necessary to roof the dormer. And what we're going to end up doing is roofing the dormer first and then letting the roofing lap onto the main roof, so it goes beyond that valley up there up onto the main roof. And then what you do is when we roof the main roof, it'll land on top of the roofing that extended over from the dormer, and we'll cut it in a straight line down the valley, so that'll have an overlap and that'll protect it. So this side you can actually see where the ropes come down from the pulleys. I'll zoom them in. So these little pulley systems allow us to, I think it's about a 1 to 4 reduction in the amount of work we have to do to pull this walkboard system up. So what you see here is just the ropes, but I'll walk back inside. We have a bunch of these things I'm calling sleds because we're going to connect these sleds in a line and then actually attach a walkboard. This is only part of the roof on this side because of the dormer, but we're going to use probably a 20-foot walkboard and attach these sleds, and then we'll have something to stand on. We can pull it up a little at a time, and it's built strong enough to support actual roofing as well as bodies. So with 5 of those systems attached to the walkboard, we'll be able to pull that whole thing up slowly as we go, and then we reach the top, we'll finish the roofing and then lower it back down. So if it gets one use, it'll work its way up the roof one time and get taken back down and move to the other side. So these are sled devices that Al produced, and they're actually at a funny angle. I'll try to stand one up because the way they're going to actually be used is, let me suspend this in here just so I can explain it. Okay, so what you see, there's actually some plastic flashing under this, and the ends where it rides up the roof are rounded off a little bit. So what you see, this 2x4 with a little block on it is actually going to be used to support an extension ladder that's bungeed to it. So that'll create a safety rail. The walkboard will go across that piece of pressure treated wood you see there. It'll sit on that particular area, and then as it gets pulled up the roof, the area where the rope's attached is that in right there. So it'll be dragging up the roof with the walkboard going across it that's been attached. So each part of the walkboard that crosses one of these will be screwed in so that it keeps them all in parallel and they can't get out of control. So this is pretty cool. So he's got 5 of these, so we'll have enough to do the whole walkboard system. And the roofing actually is going to show up tomorrow. That's the game plan. We have the roofing showing up, and we will be just working on blocking till those guys get here, and then we'll actually have everything we need to get the roof on. So that will be exciting. I was really hoping that before the end of the month we'd have that done, and being that we're going to be able to start tomorrow, which is only the 2nd, it gives us an excellent chance at getting that roof completely done. We can get the one side done, and then the only interruption will be doing the smaller dormer on the kitchen side. And once that's done, then this side can be roofed. So we're now on a really good roll. Shooting to get done by the end of October. We'll have daylight savings kicking in early November, so that'll rob us of another hour of light. And between now and then, we'll be losing some light. So kind of fighting the calendar right now to try to get everything done in time. You can see a lot of leaves are down. My wife and I took a beautiful drive yesterday. We pretended to be tourists. We did some exploring locally, took pictures of some of the beautiful leaves. Up here, it's kind of dull. This is nothing like what we saw on the little road trip. These mostly are maples, but these aren't the kind that go red. Everything here is sort of a gold or yellow, but very pretty around here. So that's a catch-up. I'll show you some really good progress probably in a few days when we get some roofing on. It's going to really pretty this up. It's a beautiful kind of mottled selection of shades of green and an architect shingle, which will make this blend in a little bit. I hope it should be a nice soft look, so we will see. But anyway, good talking to you again, and I will put up the next video and we have some roofing to show you. Have a good night.